Oh shit, my voice. Here's your game, Bubbles. Here it is. I have it for you. I didn't think I was live yet, so I was just singing to myself. Here it is. It's beautiful. That's me on the right. Well, I mean the glasses, nothing else. Dude, rank to fire. Dude, I'm alone. Bubbles, I need you on Skype or something. I don't know when to go. I'm panicking. Picnic. Picnic. I'm good to go. All right. Excellent. I guess I am my own commentary. Wow, my typing's invisible. I don't remember if I need to restart the game if that happens. I don't remember if that causes anything. But I am typing map C1A0 into the console. That's the map we start on. You can't see it though. It's, I don't know why. It's a really weird bug that happens sometimes. Anyways, I guess since Bubbles said I'm good to go, we'll start. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, yeah, I do need to restart when that happens. It's just a black screen. It's a really, really, really strange bug. I honestly don't know what causes it. It happens probably once in like 30 launches of the game. Say now it's fine. Alright, now I'm actually good to go. Thanks, Half-Links. I hate you. Alright, now we're good to go. 3, 2, 1, go. So this is what Half-Life is supposed to look like. This is the actual game. Not the black screen of nothing. So welcome to Half-Life 1, where I will be bunny hopping, which is what I'm doing now. It's basically just air strafing, try to get mouse movements as smooth as you can, and if done right, you will gain speed. You like the black screen better? Me too. So, there's not too much to say during the beginning of the run. So, I mean, if anyone has any questions, I'll try to answer them. So what I should be doing during a lot of sections is lowering my frame rate. FPS in this game kind of makes NPCs react or act differently. The lower the FPS, the faster they'll turn around or react to dangerous things like explosives. The higher the frame rate, the slower they'll turn around and react. So I'm gonna push this guy. It's a trick called NPC abuse. This is the first sighting of it. If you push NPCs in the door, and some enemies as well, the doors will open. And so you don't need to wait for any dialogue to finish. It's fast. It's basically, it means it's fast. Now, this game has very few waiting around areas in it. Most of it's in the beginning, this being the longest section, where you basically stand around and do nothing. So I'm just pushing them closer to the retinal scanners, just so they don't have to walk all the way from the middle over here. Saves a bit of time. I mean, yeah, you actually don't need to crouch to push them. I just started running this game by crouching and pushing them into things, so it's just kind of remained a habit.
Yes, you're right. Gordon, we have complete confidence in you.
Well, go ahead. Let's let him in.
And I lowered my frame rate a little bit too late there, but you did see that guy snap around quicker. So frame rate does affect things in this game. So I'm gonna come up here because I want to push this button. Because this button is what breaks absolutely everything in the game.
Everything seems to be in order.
Well, it's the start of what breaks everything in the game. The shiny button.
Right, Gordon. Your suit should keep you comfortable through all this.
Gordon Freeman has 2 jobs and he screws up both of them.
Good as to climb up and start the rotors.
I do have a habit of doing that, yeah.
To 80% and hold it there until the carrier arrives.
Now, I will get this out of the way early. If you see me flicking my flashlight off and on, there is no reason to do that. It's just a habit. That's back from the Counter-Strike 1.6 days where you kind of locked in the spawn at the start and there's nothing else to do but jump up and down and do this. And some of this. So it's just a habit. I'll try to resist doing it, especially if people have never seen this before. I don't want them to annoy or get annoyed.
Stage 2 emitters activating.
Yeah, there's basically nothing to do here.
Gordon, we cannot predict how long.
So you can warm up on bunny hopping, or you can stand here and do nothing.
Overhead capacitors to.
There are a couple tricks in this chamber though, as soon as I get access to the cart.
It's probably not a problem. Probably, but I'm
Also remember to donate and put it towards donation incentives.
sustaining sequence.
Like I heard $100 gets Bubbles to wear a wig. So remember to do that. Alright, so now things officially blow up. So I'm gonna pull the cart out. That'll get a Vortigaunt that spawns stuck on it. I will then lower my frame rate, strafe on the ladder, and crouch at the right time. And land on top of this light, which keeps me out of the trigger. That there's like a giant cutscene area right under this light. And when you're in it, you like teleport to different places because everything's exploding. But you don't want to be in there, because then you can't do the little skip here using that Vortigaunt. So I'm gonna wait for a sound cue. That'll let me know that it's safe to go down the ladder. And there it is. Now it's safe. And I lost a lot of health. I should be okay still. Get on top of this Vortigaunt. And time a damage boost. And hope he doesn't hit me again, otherwise I'll die. Alright, good. That was a little bit scary. That skips about a minute or so worth of stuff. Like talking to a scientist and waiting for him to walk over to a door and open it. And I didn't die to that laser. Awesome. I died to that laser a lot for some reason. And now we have the wonderful Half-Life crowbar. You can get a smooth jump through that window there and keep bunny hopping, but it's pretty hard. It gets pretty tricky. Yeah, there's a lot of places early on in the game where you can just die super hard. My main worry early on in the run, though, is Barney. He can easily completely kill runs. But I will be saving before him, just in case he does, so I don't have to reset the entire run. That's not something you want to do in marathons. So I'm just holding space there to bounce on top of the water while it goes up. And in this section, there is, or in the next section soon, there's something called the box boost. It is a very difficult trick to explain. I can't explain it for the life of me, but that's what it is. It lets you clear that gap. And trying to get the scientist to open the door, shoot him in the head because he gets in my way otherwise.
Hello.
And just try to go through this area as smoothly as I can. Kill all the head crabs. Using the high-res models does not affect anything. I just personally don't like the look of a lot of the high-res models. I think they're gross. In that section, you can jump on a head crab and get up on the ladder instead of using the box, but it's... I'm very inconsistent at it, and it doesn't waste, like, that much extra time. So a lot of people who played this game before don't know that there's a secret there, and this is where you can get the shotgun a lot earlier. So I made a save there, just in case Barney decides to not cooperate with me. I didn't walk close, or I walked too close to him. That's okay. So I'm gonna throw some grenades behind him, and then I'm gonna lower my frame rate just so he reacts to them quicker, and hopefully runs towards this door and opens it. Oh, Barney! I love you. I love you, Barney. You never steer me wrong when it matters. You never steer me wrong when I need it the most. So, you could save that guy, but nah. That's slow.
Let's go.
Alright, so I did a couple things there. One, I got my health to 51. 51 HP is the amount of HP where scientists will not try to heal you from your health being too low. And second, you can interact with that guy during a part of his dialogue. Grab control of him, push him into the door, which NPC abuses it, so the door opens. You then shoot him so his body blocks the door from closing, and you can push the button. That skips that entire chapter. And right here, I'm going to press the left strafe key as soon as I leave that elevator and grab onto that ladder so I don't die from fall damage. And now I get to relax for a little bit and take a tram ride. You can bunny hop ahead of this tram, but there's no real point. You still have to wait for it up ahead so it hits you, or it launches you onto the pipe to the right. The Black Mesa remake is really good for, like, first-time playthroughs, not so much for running. So I'm doing wall strafes in the pipe. You just look at a certain angle and it lets you run faster. Alright, that was pretty good. That was a pretty good little section. Alright, so coming up is a pretty hard bunny hop. It took me a lot of practice to get it as consistently as I can do it. I say that, I'm probably going to screw it up like 10 times in a row, but hopefully that doesn't happen. The hardest part of this is the hound eyes. There's a lot of them on this pathway, and if they block you, then... And perfect. So that skips going into that building, and, you know, going the normal way. I'm gonna ladder strafe down. So in this section, you're activating 2 sources of power to destroy the evil tentacle monster that you don't know exists yet because you just skipped it. And yeah, remember to donate. Push those 2 buttons. Fall down here. Didn't take any fall damage, which is really nice. So this is another one of those sections. It's just pretty straightforward. Just, you know, try not to die. And bunny hop as well as you possibly can. Dude, I have no idea what that emote is. So luckily in this game, you can use objects like levers and switches through doors and walls. So that lets us get back in, because you're not supposed to get in from that side. But luckily in this old game, I'm gonna grab the health there. I try blowing up the crates with a right click on the shotgun, which does like the double barrel, but I usually miss some of the spray on it and have to just do it like that. This pipe kind of sucks to bunny hop on. It definitely did when I started running this. Which I should mention, I am using the Steam version of this game, but I'm using the WON package, which makes this game kind of act like how it did on the CD version. Like, shortly before this game got put on Steam, there was a speed cap put on the game at around like 500 units per second, which is really slow. With good bunny hopping, you can easily hit 800, and with like Gauss boosting, you can hit like 2000. So to have a speed cap of 500 on the game would definitely hinder the ability to go quickly. And so I activated all the power. I'm gonna come over here, shoot the tentacles so they reseed back into the hole. Push the button through the glass, and then wait for them to blow up. And then I can continue. That was Blast Pit though, that was pretty good. That actually felt like a decent section. Usually I die once or twice, or like 7 times there. Wait for them. And we come down here. I'm gonna grab the Magnum. It's a good gun. It's definitely handy and on a rail. You can skip it, but it's very difficult to. The game is pretty hard in this section if you skip the Magnum. And it doesn't save like that much time if you're not like crazy, like literally insane. There's a runner by the name of Cookie who does that. Back when he ran this game like a lot. I think he still runs it, he just doesn't really stream too much. I'm gonna hold S on this just to minimize my fall damage. I'm gonna grab that. I didn't need to do that, but the items that those boxes drop appear on the next map because the maps overlap. And I'm gonna jump up here. What? Okay, that was a weird trick to mess up a few times. Wait for the trip mine to activate because trip mines actually don't have any collision until the laser shows up. It's possible to get stuck in the trip mine if you're inside of it before the laser activates. I've made that mistake plenty of times. So I'm gonna do a grenade jump right here, which skips going through the lower section. And I'm gonna hope that I kill this guy up here fast. Easy every time. Sometimes he gets a headshot on me and that kills me, which is super lame. I'm gonna grab a bit of extra health there, just for safety's sake. And up here is probably the hardest section in the run. On a rail. There are many things that can go wrong. Movement-wise and just like trying not to die. It's easy to get stuck, it's easy to slip off the track and touch the rail, which does 10 damage, like instantly. It's easy to get hit by one of the many enemies along the way. It's easy to trip a trip mine that's coming up soon and that insta-kills you. One of the big offenders for losing any speed here is the corners. Sometimes if you don't crouch, you get stuck and go from however fast you were going to 0 in a second. Now, a lot of the times you see me shooting or throwing grenades, it's not for any real purpose, like killing an enemy, it's more for scaring enemies. Enemies are programmed to, when they see a grenade, they run and stop their attacks on you. So it lets you go through areas without much of a problem. So normally on this elevator you take 2 trips. Oh, I blew myself up almost. You need to take 2 trips, but you can squeeze a grenade between the wall and this elevator loves getting you stuck. Okay, there we go. If you mash hard enough, you can get free. But you should normally jump before the elevator reaches the top there, otherwise you get stuck in it. It's really weird. You squeeze a grenade through the, like between the wall and the top section there. And you can blow up the crates without bringing the elevator up, grabbing the satchels, putting them on the elevator, bringing it up again, blowing it up, and then going up yourself finally. I think I got headshot. That turret can be a real pain sometimes. That was picnic heaven, dude. Okay, there we go. So sometimes that guy doesn't like dying. He is a jerk. But don't worry, we got him. So up here is just another example of using a button through a wall. You can push the switch that activates the rocket sequence. Then I'm gonna come up here and get some health. Which again, I'm gonna be using through the wall. And just straight or circle jump over those lasers, grab whatever I need, and then I wait. I need to wait for the blast windows, or the blast doors over the windows to open before I can get out of this area. Otherwise the door out there won't be open, and then I have to come back and then wait. So I could only assume from the few deaths I've had so far that I'm on world record pace. I mean, that's only logical. So, world record hype. There's another little train ride. I want to get off of it pretty soon, though. Then spend a little bit of time underwater, trying to not get blocked by the stupid leeches. Or whatever they are. I honestly don't know what these things are. They're like tiny white fishes or something. This is another pretty hard section. It has a few tricks tightly packed together. And messing any one of them up loses a bit of time. Ah, yeah, I got one of them. Sweet, I actually really get that. So that's one. Up here is two. That was two. And three. Woo! Nice, actually. That was good. That was very good. So that right there is an example of using an enemy to NPC abuse. I shoot an SMG grenade, which scares that Vortigaunt. He touches the retinal scanner, and that opens the door, which normally doesn't open until you kill all the enemies in that room.
Right? I've got a message for you.
So, since alright. I've literally never had a crash there. Sick, dude. Honestly did not know the game could crash there at all. Thank you, Half-Life. You're behaving very nicely today.
Right? I've got a message for you. Make sure you don't...
So anyway, since I have enough health and armor, I can do a grenade jump up here and use the lever instead of going around and up the ramp. So when you get quote-unquote knocked out here, all the game does is teleports you to a pitch black room behind the room you enter. And if you notice when you enter that room, there's a health station on the wall. So what I'm doing there is if you position yourself there properly, you can use the health station through the wall in the other room. And heal yourself up while they're talking about how they got you. Even though you're getting stronger. But they don't know that. It is actually possible to soft block if you move around too much and are in an improper position during the transition. You can like get spawned in out of bounds there if you moved around a bit too much. So up here is residue processing. Probably the second hardest section in the run. Residue processing and questionable ethics are obnoxious to say the least. If you're not too sure what to do or where to go. There's a lot of things to fall into, a lot of things to get crushed by, and it's just, in general, can be very frustrating. Especially on a first playthrough. I'm sure many people remembers the not fun they had in this section of the game their first time. So again, I'm just wall strafe. You can bunny hop in vents. It's just a lot harder to do in time than standing up. If I kept my speed there, I could have jumped and kind of hopped through the vent there a little bit faster. Wow, Bubbles. Don't be like that. So I'm gonna do a trick called sharking here. You crouch and hold space, and you can skip across the water current really fast. And there's a weird push trigger down here. If you get to the bottom and hold E, the game pushes you across like that. Okay, I grabbed what I needed. So I'm gonna wait a bit for these to line up properly, just so I can get under them. If they're a bit off, then I have to jump around one, and that can be pretty annoying. So the timing I used for that was that, just so I can go over one and then under the other without needing to wait an extra cycle. I'm gonna throw a satchel here and blow up all the trip mines. You can actually jump over those trip mines. It's not necessary to do that. I just find it slower. I thought I could make it, so I'm gonna have to wait for it to back up. And we're in questionable ethics. A pretty difficult section as well. Not necessarily this part, but the part coming up. There's a lot of enemies. And if you're a bit slow or miss shots as much as I do, it can be quite obnoxious. So I'm gonna grab this guy's shotgun. Okay, I have 9 HP now, but that's not a big deal. There is a health station here. In one of those head crabs cages, there is a crowbar, but we don't, not a crowbar, a crossbow, but we don't need that anymore. So I'm rocking it kind of low with 19 HP here, but that'll be fine. I've literally done this section with 1 HP before. But I've never done it with 0 HP before. Alright, there we go. I killed that guy to get the SMG grenades, and I put a trip mine there to kill the guy that chases me. I put a couple trip mines there, wait for them to activate, and blow up the head crabs, just so they don't get in the way on the way back. Alright, there was only one guy left there, so that was not too bad with 7 HP. So I'm looking to have 8 grenades here for my SMG. Perfect, because I will be using them a decent amount in the upcoming sections. And here we have the Gauss rifle. This thing is awesome. It boosts you in a horizontal line, but you can use slopes to gain vertical height, and we will be seeing that not too long from now. I'm gonna get 51 HP again so they don't heal me. I'm gonna hit the ground there. That scares the scientists, and that stops them from, I guess, moving at all.
Why are you leaving? I certainly hope you know what you're doing.
There we go. That stops them from stopping at the beginning of the hallway here. For some reason they do that if you don't scare them first. And hopefully he'll follow me all the way. Alright, good. Gonna grab some armor, and that is questionable ethics done with. And for his services, I will shoot him in the chest. So this section's pretty fun. There's a pretty cool Gauss boost up here, and kind of the first one that we do. And if you, like, hold forward into the corner there, you get stuck in it, and you can just slide down the cliff edge without taking any fall damage. Because that drop would kill you. That drop straight up kills you. Ah, yeah, runner's choice for donations. So, we're at 69 HP, but I want to get some more for this next section. Just for safety's sake. This section of the game is called Surface Tension, by the way. It's pretty fun. Just gonna do some Gauss boost. Kill that guy. I'm gonna wait a second just to make sure the helicopter isn't doing that, because that hurts. Alright, so coming up very soon is an example of using the Gauss rifle to boost on a slanted edge to get some vertical height. Because this game is old and everything is just a polygon. So pipes aren't round, so you can get on top of the map here and just kind of skip this outside section. For some reason, Valve decided to put water out of bounds. I honestly don't know why they did that, but it works out well for us, so no complaints. And here's the head crab that jumps off the cliff. There's actually a... I'm pretty sure it's a reference to that in Half-Life 2 with one of the F.A.S.T zombies. Before an over-prospect, it'll run out of the pipe and throw itself off the edge. And here we use the curve of the bunker there to get over that gate. Not too much to say in this section. This jump I'm going to do is actually a lot harder than it looks. It took me a lot of time to get the timing right on when to jump. Like, I promise you, it is not that easy to get over there. That took me a long time to do my first try. At one point, I was convinced the version of my game was wrong because I couldn't make that jump. Same with some of the Gauss boosts I couldn't do. Okay, luckily that head crab didn't jump into the laser and blow up the entire room. It does that sometimes. It's rude. Oh, here, just another bunny hoppy section. Just Gauss boost a little bit to try to go through it faster. And we are getting pretty close to the infinite health door. I'll explain it a little more once I'm inside of it. I'm actually going to count out the cycles, though, and explain it after. I want to make sure I have enough health to finish this run. Otherwise, that would suck. My biggest fear in marathons is to have to mercy kill a run I'm doing. That would bum me out pretty hard. So, also, the way NPC abusing works, if you have to save and load on the same map you have to NPC abuse, it doesn't work. You have to do it first try on a map, which makes the infinite health door pretty difficult. Don't! You! I hate you. I hate you. Why does that only, like, really happen during marathon runs of Half-Life? Like, every marathon I've run Half-Life in, that guy has done that. What a jerk, dude. What a jerk. So now I need to do that again. I have never had a Half-Life marathon run that did not have that happen. See, that's what's supposed to happen. Alright, wait till he shoots at me, scare him with the grenade. He'll open the door and look at my HP in the bottom left. I'll explain that in a minute. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm gonna get like 1 or 2 more for good luck. Usually 10.5 is good enough, but I'm gonna get a little bit extra just to be safe. Alright, so, for those who haven't seen that before, that is the infinite health door. That door has a -1 damage value, which, to the game, makes it heal me. Because to the game, -1 damage equals +1 health. So, that's good for us. Even though my health rolls over every 255 back to 0, it does still stack. So I have probably close to 3,000 HP right now in total. Oh my god, that was slightly embarrassing. I didn't cook my grenade soon enough, so that kind of looked really silly, but that's not a big deal. But I have a lot of health. It should be more than enough to finish the run. Barring, you know, assuming that I don't have any huge health loss mistakes, which shouldn't happen, realistically. Also, a fun thing about barnacles in this game, I will show this off. No matter how much HP you have, whether it's 50 or 3,000, barnacles still one-shot you. They don't really care. They're very, very, very overpowered in Half-Life 1. I'm gonna skip across the water and then do a grenade jump straight over that. And this is the Hornet gun. I'm still not quite sure how it works with the whole closing doors when they're opening. I assume it's because since the game registers the bees or the hornets in them as like actual things, the game breaks out the anti-stuck mechanic still and reverses the direction the door's going, just so nothing gets stuck in it. That's my assumption. I don't know if that's true, but that's kind of what I've gathered. Okay, my grenade is invisible, so I didn't think I had any. But luckily, invisible grenades can still grenade jump. Hi, Harlequin. So here, you're just gonna try to kill these dudes as fast as possible. You don't really need to. I mean, you can go slow if you want, but that's lame. Then I'm going to shoot this guy when he turns around and hopefully time it right. Alright, if you do it too late, you get the failed screen there because you know, hurt an ally. But for some reason during this turnaround, he doesn't take any registerable damage. That's not even a word, dude. That was not even a word. But yeah, that damage makes him scared of you, and then he runs into the door, which NPC abuses it open. And here is the Lambda Core. That's a really fun section. I quite enjoy doing it. There's some cool grenade jumps. And in one of the sections, I'm going to try to talk as fast as I can to sort of explain things, but it'll probably... Oh. I'm actually not sure if Half-Life 2 has any donation incentives. If it does, chuck it towards that. So this is another one of those sections that's just Gauss boost and grenade jump as fast and as well as you can. Right here is one of 2 double damage boosts that I do. They look pretty awesome. It's a grenade jump followed by an SMG grenade. Alright, so right here, I'm shooting Barney through the door with the Gauss, which makes him angry. He runs towards the door, which opens the door with NPC abuse. I then scare him with an SMG grenade, which gets him to run over to this door, which opens it. And then I'm going to use the Hornet gun, since Hornets are registered as living beings. It'll activate the damage trigger that insta-kills you when you fall into there. Deactivate it momentarily, long enough for me to fall in there and teleport to Zen without waiting for the teleportation sequence, which is like a 2-minute cutscene in that area. That skips all of that. And now we're at Zen. Now we are at Zen. Shazam! Explanation, boys. And my satchel kind of broke earlier, so I'm gonna hold it out until it fixes itself, because I kind of need it here. There we go. So, shoutouts to Azore for making the joke that instead of Gonarch Slayer, this is Goknak Slayer. So this massive testicled specimen is Goknak. So we have to shoot Goknak right in his sack to progress through this area. So there is actually like a certain, you know, order of damage you can do here. I do Gauss Rifle, Satchel, then Gauss Rifle, 2 grenades, and SMG. And see there, again, I lowered my frame rate and that made Gonarch turn around really fast. So, yo, I always leisurely bunny hop through that area. Just because there's no real rush, you have to wait anyways. Charge up here. Do another shot that kind of aims at those or hits those. Okay, one grenade missed. 2 grenades, shoot away. So normally in this section you have to finish the fight, because then Gonarch dies, blows open the hole, and then you can continue. But with enough explosives, exactly 5 satchels and 5 trip mines, you can blow open the hole yourself. And continue on. And right here's a... where am I? A grenade boost there. Before that platform disintegrates, then you can skip right to the teleporter. So I am still assuming I have enough health. Again, my biggest fear during a marathon run is to run out of HP and not be able to finish. I was like, I find it actually impossible to try to finish a run of this if you run out of HP before you're at the final boss. That was pretty good. That was a decent little Gauss boost. Into Bunny Hop. Alright, nice. I'll get to jump around that, which is a slightly faster cycle. Yeah, I should definitely have a couple more ticks or rollovers of health. Alright, one more final double damage boost. Then we are basically at the final boss. Perfect. More than enough health. More than enough health. Shazam! So right here is the space vacuum cleaner. That's basically the lightning gun. I will be using it very shortly on the boss. Do a Gauss boost that not only kills that crystal, but gets me to boost onto this platform, which is faster than needing to take one of the launch pads up here. But I'm gonna exhaust the ammo on this before I finish off this crystal, before he heals. Then you can stay behind this rock, bounce grenades off of it, and he can't hit you either. You are 100% safe here, standing in the right spot. And you're just doing enough damage to get his head to open up. Do one final SMG boost, and time. Final boss is dead. The universe is saved. Gordon gets the other half of his life back. Glorious ending.